Hi everyone, Susan Winter here for SusanWinter.net. So the wandering eye. What do we do when we catch our partner checking somebody out? What does it mean? What should we do about it? What is our response? There are a lot of different scenarios, so I'm going to cover them one at a time. I recently had a fantastic interview with Medical Daily and International Business Times TV, and so the resource links are right underneath this in the description if you want a further explanation of why it happens and what to do about it. But it is normal for us as humans to notice something to which we're attracted to. The only problem is when our mate is also aware that we're doing this. So the secondary question is more important than the first. Looking is not the issue. What we all worry about is, what does that mean? What's the impact for me that I notice them look? And of course we worry about cheating. So I have a belief that people sniff before they chew. And that's based on my experience with my dog, Diva, when she was a puppy. So I noticed, there's that time period between a year and a half when you've got to watch your dog, because it could be your favorite French provincial chair or the dining room table, or in this case, it was the carpeting. So I had the flooring of the marble compared to the carpeting was a seam. It didn't have that metal strip. And I noticed her sniffing, okay? I wake up the next morning, the carpet had been ripped completely out of its place. All the foam is up, torn up, chewed all the way. The only thing that stopped her was this big, heavy dining room table. So we're talking about 7 or 8 feet of carpeting had been ripped up and chewed. And I remembered to myself, I did see her sniffing that. Sniffing, looking, means interest. The question is, how far are they going to sniff and are they going to chew? But it's a sign that makes us uncomfortable in human disposition as well. Now, anybody who's had any basic education on being in a relationship must have learned at some point, either through correction or through a parent that told them, hey, don't let them catch you looking. It is normal for us to notice. It is not kind, nor is it fair for us to have our partner catch us noticing. And it has a greater significance depending upon where you are in the relationship and how you feel about yourself. For example, I had somebody who just wrote me as a result of the information, the interview that I just mentioned at the top of this, and said, I went out on a first date with somebody, and it's our very first date, and he's checking this girl out. And it was so noticeable, and it turned me off. And I said, well, it should. Okay, we know the guy's looking, and again, this is independent of gender. We know on a first date that you're open and looking. But if anything, it's the first time you're meeting this person. It's like in the beginning, if you find this person agreeable, that is the time they have your greatest attention and your greatest focus. Like in the honeymoon. If in the honeymoon period, where your partner is most into you, in that sexual attraction, all the dopamine, all the excitement of the beginnings when there's no downside and it's all positive, if they're looking then, that is a huge sniff before the chew. Trust me on that one. You cannot have, that is too big a red flag. Now, let's say that you've been in the relationship for a while and you've gotten lazy. You've done what couples do. You were scrubbing the floor, or you were cleaning and you're a mess, and you didn't clean up, or you didn't shower after the gym, or you didn't shave all weekend, you didn't feel like taking a shower. These things affect your mate. And it may be that when you're out to lunch or you're buying groceries, they notice somebody who did make an effort, who's not living with them, okay, and doesn't have the security of their love. And so that, if anything, use that to wake you up again and reboot you to keep trying. But there's a difference. You will know by how you feel about your relationship. How we feel about our partner looking has everything to do with how we feel about ourselves. If we are secure in who we are, in where we stand in that relationship, it will be irritating, but it won't affect us. If we are uncertain about our position, feel like we are losing our mate's interest, we will be highly reactive. So the one benefit is that it tells you what you need to know. If you feel that this has been purposefully disrespectful, because that is another possibility, there are partners who do this. I know far too much about games to even want to go into this, but it's like there are a certain segment of the population who, for their own sense of confidence and control over you, will remind you that your position is not secure by making sure that you notice them noticing somebody with delight. That is to scare you into the fact that they're going to leave. However, this is the person who normally doesn't leave. They're more terrified of being left. That might not affect everybody, but that is also a possibility. So what can you do? You have an okay relationship, you feel okay, but it's irritating. You tell your partner, hey, I'm here, okay, I can see that. Not cool. How would you feel if I did that to you? Remind them whenever your partner doesn't get it, turn it around so that they can see what it would feel like to be in your shoes. That's a very effective technique. So keep in mind, to recap all of this, it is a normal response for us to notice what's pretty and exciting and keeps our attention. It is not normal if it passes a certain period of time and is recognizable to us as a partner. We have to be very conscious of the fact that there's a level of disrespect here, or there is far too much interest, and the sniffing can turn into chewing. And that is something that you have to manage directly with your partner. I hope this helps you. Susan Winter for SusanWinter.net. Please tune in to The Susan Winter Show on iTunes. Subscribe to this channel if you haven't already. Write me, let me know, what do you want me to talk about in these videos. That really helps me, and most all of the conversations that I have come from your correspondence. So thank you very much.